These are the two most powerful premium mid-range smartphones, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro and the OnePlus Nord 3. Again, these are mid-range smartphones, but they promise you nothing less than flagship performance. At nearly half the price of flagships, and sometimes even lesser than that, these phones can compete with last year's flagships in sheer performance. The iQOO Neo 7 Pro retails for $34,999 and the Nord 3 for $33,999. But after bank discounts and pre-booking offers, the Neo 7 Pro actually costs a little less. But what we're going to do is evaluate both the phones on multiple factors and then see which one stands out and in fact works better for you. Now, if you look at the AnTuTu scores, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro is clearly higher than the Nord 3. The Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip is more powerful as opposed to the MediaTek 9000 on the OnePlus. But then these are just scores. Let's put them to real-world tests. Now, obviously, in day-to-day use, you're not going to see a lot of difference in terms of performance. They're both very fast, and launching regular apps is equally smooth on both the phones. But let's put them through some heavy stuff. So first I launched Asphalt 9 and the Neo 7 Pro loaded the game 4 seconds faster. And then I launched Call of Duty and the Neo 7 Pro was faster by just about 1 to 2 seconds. And even if marginally, the Neo 7 Pro does lead. And then even when I ran a 5G test, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro gave higher speeds on the same 5G network standing at the exact same spot. And so whether it's raw performance, whether it's launching of games or 5G speeds, and even if by a bit, the Neo 7 Pro has been ahead of the Nord 3. But performance doesn't stop there. If you played, let's say, Call of Duty on the Nord 3, you are limited to just 90 frames per second. But on the Neo 7 Pro, you could use frame interpolation to boost frame rates all the way up to 120 FPS. And these high frame rates are not just limited to Call of Duty. Even other supported games like BGMI can run at 120 FPS on the Neo 7 Pro. The Nord 3, 90 FPS. There's also game display enhancement, which makes your games look more vibrant than they would on, let's say, the Nord 3. You could see the difference even if I just simply turn this feature on and off on the Neo 7 Pro. And this is all happening because of the independent gaming chip on the Neo 7 Pro. That is quite literally the game changer here. Now, obviously, the Neo 7 Pro is more gaming centered, so it has features like motion gestures for game-specific actions, and it lets you tweak gameplay experiences more intricately. Now, the Nord 3 is not a gaming-centric phone, and so it lacks these features. But then, if I'm paying the same price, I might as well have these features than to not have them. In terms of display, I think both are absolutely kick-ass. They both have very sharp AMOLED displays, similar size, except the Nord 3 has a slightly brighter display than the Neo 7 Pro. But both phones offer very good visibility outdoors, even in very brightly lit outdoor situations. Both of them are also HDR10 displays, and both support HDR titles on Netflix, so all of that is really good. But then there are some minor differences that actually sets the Neo 7 Pro display slightly above the Nord 3 display. The instant touch response rate on the Neo 7 Pro is 1200 Hz as compared to 1000 Hz on Nord 3. So your touch is registered faster on the Neo 7 Pro. Now again, this is not something that would matter to you on a day-to-day basis for regular things, but for gaming, definitely makes a difference. And hey, you also get finer control over brightness settings on the Neo 7 Pro because of the 2160Hz PWM dimming versus the 1440Hz on the Nord 3. Now let's talk about cameras. And if we just go spec-wise, both the phones have a 50 megapixel primary lens, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. But these are just specs. Let's get into the camera samples. And so guys, here are some samples taken using the primary camera on both the phones, and it's really hard to tell which one is doing better. So in this picture, both are doing absolutely fine. It's just that the Neo 7 Pro is slightly warm in tone and Nord 3 is a bit cold. In here, I'm actually surprised that the Neo 7 Pro shows better dynamic range than the Nord 3. Now, in this case, the leaves actually look better on the Nord 3. They're less aggressively processed, but the sky on the Neo 7 Pro is more accurate. Now, let's also talk about details. Here, if you zoom in, the Neo 7 Pro actually captured sharper greens than the Nord 3. And now let's take a look at the selfies. Both are quite soft, but here's the thing. I prefer the detailing on the Nord 3, but I prefer the skin tones on the Neo 7 Pro. Also, if you notice, the detailing on the t-shirt in the Neo 7 Pro is so much better. So overall, I would actually just prefer the Neo 7 Pro selfie over the Nord 3. But a lot of the times, the Nord 3 actually did slightly better in terms of capturing colors. And in tricky situations which requires more accurate exposure control, the Nord 3 again does slightly better. In low light too, both can take really good photos. There's not much of a difference except the Neo 7 Pro does overexpose slightly more to brighten the picture. It doesn't look bad, but the Nord 3 very marginally does a slightly better job. But practically speaking, they're both really good. And here's a quick video sample from both the phones. Now, both phones can shoot in 4K resolution to up to 60 FPS. However, I do realize that the Neo 7 Pro footage was brighter, it was more stable, and I guess it's slightly more color accurate than the Nord 3, which for some reason seems darker, shakier, and not as color accurate. Alright, so guys, here's a video sample using the front-facing cameras of both the phones. Now, both of them support 1080p at up to 30 frames per second. Most Chinese manufacturers do not support 4K video resolution for whatever reason, but yeah, so this is the quality. This is the sun just behind me, and this is when the sun is right opposite me. So let me know, what do you guys think, which one is better? Overall, and I think to a large extent, the cameras are equally good on both the phones. For some part, the Nord 3 takes more color accurate pictures and photos that are more appropriately balanced exposure-wise. For videos, I would actually prefer the Neo 7 Pro. They're just brighter, more stable, and the colors are slightly more accurate. In fact, even for selfies, I would stick with the Neo 7 Pro. And to be very honest, I'm actually pretty surprised that the Neo 7 Pro gave such stiff competition to the Nord 3 in terms of photography and videos. I was really thinking that the Nord 3 would do better, but I stand corrected. Now, I really want to talk about the design. So, the Nord 3, it's got a very neutral design, flat surface, flat rectangular edges, so it's got more of that boxy feel, which a lot of people prefer. All in all, a design that works for everyone. The Neo 7 Pro, it's got a very distinct, unique design and look. It's more curved than boxy, and again, there's a group of people that would actually prefer that. And that orange color is such a big highlight. The other thing is that Nord 3 has a glass back, and the orange or the Fearless Flame color variant of Neo 7 Pro has a vegan leather finish. Now, I actually prefer the vegan leather because the thing with glass is it can get scratches very easily. It can lose its shine over time quite easily again. And if it falls, there's so much more prone to shattering or any kind of crack. The vegan leather, you could actually use this without a case and still face none of those issues. But yeah, if you still prefer glass because it has that perception of being more premium, then sure, the Nord 3 has it, and even the dark storm color of the Neo 7 Pro, that has it too. So you've got glass options on both the phones. And finally, coming to the software, they're both running Android 13 with Nord 3 using Oxygen OS 13 and FunTouch OS on the Neo 7 Pro. They're both very similar in terms of functionalities. The only thing I would like to point out is that Nord 3 will give you 3 years of Android upgrades and 4 years of security updates, while the Neo 7 Pro is going to give you 2 years of Android upgrades and 3 years of security updates. And so yeah, there is that 1 extra year of support on the Nord 3. Lastly, let's talk about battery and charging as well. Now, both phones come with 5000 mAh battery capacity and will easily last you the entire day with some battery to spare. So a very comfortable all-day battery, but the charging speeds vary on both. The Neo 7 Pro comes with a 120 watt charger that charges your phone from 1 to 50% in just under 8 minutes, while the 80 watt charger on the Nord 3 nearly takes double the time. By the way, the Neo 7 Pro charger, it supports PD charging. And so you can use this charger to even charge your laptops, and that's something completely missing on the Nord 3's charger. And so yeah, another win for the Neo 7 Pro. So overall, the Neo 7 Pro with its better performance, better gaming features, faster charging, and a very slightly better display experience does shine brighter than the Nord 3. And so evidently, for someone who's looking for a more performance-driven smartphone, should definitely opt for the Neo 7 Pro. However, the Nord 3 settles for lesser performance and the lack of gaming features by providing you slightly better photo taking experience in just a few aspects and a better Android upgrade program. And I also want to highlight to you that if you bought the Neo 7 Pro before 18th of July, you would actually get 1 extra year of warranty. So that makes it a total of 2 years of warranty if you bought the Neo 7 Pro before 18 July. And so there you go, guys. I think you've got all the points that you need to be able to decide between the two phones. Clearly, the iQOO Neo 7 Pro has outperformed the Nord 3 in majority of the aspects. So that should make it easier for you to decide. But if in any case you do still have questions, let me know in the comment section and I'll definitely help you out. And thank you for watching, guys. If you did enjoy watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, guys, and hit that bell notification icon, and mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.